Dumelang mapara le maparagadi. It is a new week, and that can only mean one thing. Another episode of Mzanzi Fundiz is fully locked and loaded on your screens. Kalibitso ke Lekoko, your host. Mara ke vagili one as usual. Ke tshwere mapara a disc. Ke vandag ke tsamale SC le Lofunu. Ba fethu le grand.
Right, le para.
Le sharp. Ke grand. Remember that competition that we were running and I told you the names of the winners? Kidiboni Musidi, Crazy Kids ZA, the one who's won 10 grand worth of merchandise from Ben Sherman and Palladium. I don't know who we Jilevang prize ya high. Well, a lot has happened this week. Kaizer Chiefs are out of the woods in Gqeberha. Bafana Bafana play in a packed stadium, making Teboho Mokoena happy. Sundown supporters, tickets to final, la direka na. Gents, re bone Bafana ku Gqeberha, ku Cape Town, go le monate. Full stadium. Teboho Mokoena akora. What did you make of that? The support that we have SC, Bafana Bafana.
Yeah, look, I think squad is right. If you look at all the games they've played so far at home, Badi conquer Hamnat. If you look at also the stats, Santo, it speaks to what the fans are doing, coming back into the stadium because of the results. So it's a good thing. Shout out to Morocco, Cape Town. They came out in numbers and it was fully packed. Nice.
The stadium is packed, supporters are there, but there's something that Hugo is doing and I'm starting to enjoy it. He gives the local boys in that area game time. We saw him playing Bafana Cape Town.
Yeah, it was the last game. Rapidly already, you called those players in, and it was a good gesture to give Stevens, his first cap in Cape Town in front of his supporters. And it looks like a full house. Yeah, the supporters, he has already played, he performed. Typical example, Mokoena.
And Lufuno, let me stick with you because we don't lose as much as we used to before. I mean, you look at it, 19 games played already since Rejiwara 2-0 Oslo to Mali. Is this culture that we instilling in the team? Because team ya change, we've had injuries, we've had Grante Bato, we've had Bobu totally coming in, but the results they were stable.
Yeah, no, I mean Bafana is a very strong team in Africa now. It's not easy to beat them. I mean, we have changed the players. Even when we have injuries, when Zwane was not there, we were worried who's going to play. And, you now seeing the rise of Obas. The two players. The two players that they were playing there, they are gone, Zwane and Estole. But Obas, like he just fitted in like a glove. You won't even remember that the two players are actually injured. He is doing a fantastic work. He's growing every game that he plays for Bafana Bafana.
Ambulance Tembisa, Manimbona Tito. Are we saying the same thing over Bafana Bafana, the way he's played the last match?
Beautiful goal that he scored. He could have repeated that same goal. Tito is coming all right. Let's not overhype the situation at Tito. Let's let him simmer into the team so that he can be comfortable playing into the team. I think the same affordance we can give Bo Rele. Let's give it to all the new players that are coming into the team. You spoke about Cape Town players earlier on. Titus came through. And he's enjoying his football in the national team. And that's a good thing. We can't discredit what Tito is doing so far in the national team.
Is he going to be a big player, considering the fact that Mshishi Hayoda? Can this be our go-to guy and say we found, not necessarily a replacement, but somebody that we can constantly rely on should we not have Temba for the longest run? Yeah,
as I said, let's not be over-naive about it. Hugo is also not naive. He doesn't play him constantly. I mean, this was the first time Tito started the game, and you can tell there's a plan around Tito. Okay, we're looking. The coach did reference and say, look, I'm looking for a replacement for Zwane. But I think the way he's introducing him into the team is quite good. So for me, I think we need to be patient with that.
He's talking about patience, and I would automatically think of Relay. Relay is not starting games. A lot of people might say he's starting at his club. Perhaps he should be starting. Coach has come out to say he's not really that player yet to start matches. Would this be a fair judgment? Let's allow him to
there's no rush for Relay. He's still young. He still have ample time ahead of him to play for Bafana Bafana. Let him grow, in the national team. You've got an Police who's most close to a complete product, and he played in that role, and he's really delivering the numbers as well in that role. So Relay will come right with time. Let Hugo cook him. Hugo can cook players, believe me. Tito, 2 games, 2 goals, is getting cooked nicely. So let's allow the process. Let's not jump the process. Relay still have time. He will still grow and play for Bafana Bafana.
SC?
On the Relay factor, but it's a conversation for another day. But you look at certain countries globally, they play in the youngsters, and now we come back. I might be contradicting myself, by the way. We come back and we say, Relay, we need to be patient with them. When teams that are going to play in the World Cup, if you look at just the CAP and Club World Cup qualifiers, the teams that are in Africa, you look at the average age, it speaks a lot about Borrele coming into the team and doing what they're doing. But nonetheless, we are not on that case. One thing that I love that he mentioned, you look at Hugo Bruce and what he does under the national team.
Yeah.
Players that are not playing, they come into the national team and perform. Quite interesting.
And how much starter Benchama? We saw Apolis Bachis. Apolis, he has cemented his name into the national team.
And he's consistent.
Yeah. And Talefona, when he says he's almost a complete, for me, he's a complete player. And I think it's question marks to Pulunkane to say, are you ready to now lead this player? Because I think he's beyond that for me. He needs to leave the team. And by so saying, I'm not trying to push the chairman, Tsamaisa Apolis. If the coach says, I want this player here.
That's horrible. Chairman,
Definitely. So, but Apolis is a complete player. It's a complete player. Look at the number of assists, look at the goals.
Look, I think for Relay, what I've seen, Relay is talented and he's brave. Is one of the bravest, young players that we have in the PSL. He's very brave. He's got a surprise element on him, but he still has to grow in terms of how he exerts himself in the game. And sometimes, in the game, it's not about showboating. Sometimes he's to play constructively and carrying the team going forward. But he's still young. He will learn. And for me, I've seen Hugo what he does. He improves players. It's not a team coach, but when the players come to national team, they play according to what he wants them to play. And then eventually the players started to grow and improve.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have on this topic. Do make sure Mzanzi Fundiz is still your choice. Uchike second half unwelvathi ube ready. Because harabuwa, re faga case. Mamelodi Sundowns against Makesi FC. Second half.